Your trauma is your blueprint. Stop healing it and start building with it. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom we deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I am your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the profound honor of sitting down with Samakia Jordan, a visionary who is transforming the way Black women approach entrepreneurship, healing, and legacy building. Samaki is not just teaching women how to start businesses, they are teaching us how to build lives that honor our bodies, our trauma, and our right to rest. They are helping Black women shift from survival entrepreneurship to intentional legacy building, and their work is making the world a softer, safer, more sustainable place for all of us who have been grinding for far too long. What I'm about to share with you today came directly from my conversation with Samakia Jordan, and I promise you, it will challenge everything you thought you knew about trauma, business, and what it means to enter your soft girl era. Let me start with something Samakia said that stopped me in my tracks. They said, your first trauma can become your first business blueprint, not just something you heal from. Now, pause with me for a second because most of us have been taught to separate our pain from our professionalism. We've been told to keep our trauma out of the boardroom, out of the brand, out of the business plan. We've been conditioned to believe that our wounds are weaknesses, that our scars are something to hide, that our survival stories are too messy for the marketplace. But Samakia Jordan flipped that script entirely. They help me see that for Black professionals and entrepreneurs, especially Black women, our earliest experiences of survival often teach us systems, resilience, and innovation long before we ever step into corporate or entrepreneurship. Our trauma doesn't just shape how we feel, it shapes how we think, plan, and respond to risk. It becomes a framework for how we build safety and systems into our businesses from day one. It informs how we design our work to honor our bodies and nervous systems instead of replicating harm. And it redefines what success looks like beyond grind culture and constant emergency mode. Samakia wants us to rethink the idea that soft girl era means avoiding hard things. Instead, it can mean alchemizing the hardest things we've lived through into a softer, safer way of building wealth, legacy, and impact. And that, my loves, is revolutionary. So let me break down the three key insights Samakia shared with me. Insights that are grounded in the empowering, reflective, soft yet direct tone that defines this movement. First, your trauma is data, not a defect. Instead of only asking, how do I heal this? Samakia invites us to also ask, what did this experience teach me about risk, safety, boundaries, and systems? And how can I build those lessons into my business model? For example, someone who has lived through medical trauma may build businesses that prioritize rest, realistic timelines, and contingency plans instead of glorifying emergency mode. Your body remembers what happened to you. Your nervous system has been shaped by what you survived. And instead of pretending that doesn't matter, Samakia says, let it inform how you build. Let it protect you. Let it become your competitive advantage. Second, softness is a business strategy, not a personality trait. For Black professionals, choosing softness, emotional regulation, nervous system care, rest, community support is a strategic advantage that protects your creativity, decision making, and long term capacity. You are not less serious about your business because you refuse to grind yourself into another burnout or breakdown. You are building something that can actually last. Samakia reminded me that softness is not weakness. Softness is not laziness. Softness is not a luxury. Softness is survival. It is the refusal to replicate the systems that harmed us. It is the commitment to build businesses that let us breathe, rest, and thrive without apology. Third, you must shift from survival entrepreneurship to intentional legacy building. Many Black women start businesses out of urgency, layoffs, discrimination, or life crises. But staying in survival mode will cap your growth. The shift is from I just need money right now to I am building an ecosystem that protects me, my family, and my community. That means knowing your numbers, designing systems from day one, and treating your work as a business, not a hustle. Now, let me take you deeper into the stories Samakia shared with me, because these are not abstract theories. These are real women, real businesses, real transformations. The first story is about Dr. Rosie Thomas, a financial expert who works with Black women who lost federal jobs in the wake of large scale layoffs and economic shifts. Dr. Rosie helps them move from urgent, survival based entrepreneurship into intentional, legacy focused business building. Black women have been losing federal jobs by the hundreds of thousands, forcing many into entrepreneurship for survival rather than strategy. They lack access to traditional capital and have limited knowledge about alternative funding sources. They underprice their services, treat their businesses like hobbies, and operate without systems. But Dr. Rosie teaches three core disciplines: clarity, consistency, and coachability. She tells her clients to start with their personal and business numbers before seeking funding to understand credit, cash flow, and realistic budgets. She teaches them to leverage community development financial institutions, CDFIs, that exist specifically to fund underserved entrepreneurs. She encourages participation in pitch competitions as overlooked capital and visibility sources. She pushes clients to build systems from day one, even simple, imperfect systems that can grow over time. And she challenges women to treat their businesses as real businesses, paying themselves, planning for taxes, and pricing correctly to stop leaving money on the table. The outcome? Many of her clients move from emergency, I just need income now thinking, to building sustainable, scalable businesses. Women who once saw layoffs as devastation begin to view them as a pivot point into ownership, control, and legacy. The mindset shift from side hustle to enterprise has created more financially stable, credit-worthy, and system-driven companies. Dr. Rosie's work contributes to the broader boom in Black women owned businesses by turning economic trauma into empowerment and ownership. She models how Black women can move from survival entrepreneurship into disciplined, intentional legacy building. And she offers a roadmap for all of us. Treat your business as a business, honor urgency, but don't let it rush you, and build systems that protect your soft era instead of recreating crisis. The second story Samakia shared was about Martine and Alexandria, a Black mother daughter duo building a wellness farm in North Carolina, specifically catering to Black women. Their work integrates healing, nature, and community care into a business model, making wellness and softness central to their entrepreneurial strategy. They face fear of stepping out of traditional roles and stability to create something new and untested. They navigated the uncertainty of building a novel, wellness focused venture toward a specific demographic in a rural setting. And they managed the emotional and mental load of entrepreneurship while centering healing and softness in the very community they aim to serve. But they embraced the mantra: just start, prioritizing action over perfection. Alexandria said, the fear of staying where you are should far outweigh the fear of building something new. Martine advised, do it scared, acknowledging fear, but moving with it, not waiting to feel fearless. They built a small, trusted circle of 3 to 5 people who hold them accountable, challenge assumptions, and genuinely want them to win. They broke the vision into manageable steps instead of trying to execute the entire dream at once. And they let go of rigid outcomes and stayed open to what unfolds beyond their original plans. Now they are on the cusp of opening a wellness farm dedicated to Black women's rest, healing, and community. Their journey demonstrates that softness and wellness can be core business offerings, not extras, proving that healing centered enterprises are viable and needed. Their story offers a living example of how to build in alignment with purpose, nervous system care, and community, not just profit. The farm's entire model is built to combat hustle culture by offering rest as a service and a sanctuary. The third story focuses on Black women entrepreneurs who move from isolated survival mode businesses to collaborative, systemized growth through teaming agreements and shared back office structures. Many Black women start businesses primarily to survive, often operating alone with limited resources and support. They feel too small to bid on large contracts or compete in bigger markets. They burn out under the weight of duplicative tasks, bookkeeping, admin, marketing, handled individually by each business owner. And they navigate mindset barriers, still thinking like employees instead of employers, and staying economically passive instead of financially aggressive. But the solution is collaboration. Multiple Black women owned businesses sign simple teaming agreements to bid together on large contracts, naming one as prime contractor while each remains legally separate. They merge non customer facing functions, one bookkeeper, one set of software, one shared assistant, one unified brand and website, creating a full service appearance while each business stays distinct. They shift from job having to business owning, from employee to employer, and from economically passive to financially aggressive. They practice decisive leadership, quickly acknowledging mistakes, making corrections, and moving on without getting stuck. The outcome? Black women entrepreneurs stop walking away from contracts they are too small to handle alone and instead win them collaboratively. Shared back office models reduce burnout and free founders to focus on their zone of genius rather than drowning in admin. Collaborative structures create more robust, competitive, and sustainable businesses led by Black women. This gives us a tangible strategy. If you are exhausted and too small, you don't have to fix it alone. You can build together. It reinforces that softness isn't isolation, it's allowing support, shared systems, and collaboration to reduce stress and risk. So here's what I want you to take away from my conversation with Samakia Jordan. Your trauma is not a defect, it is data, it is a blueprint, it is a framework for how you deserve to live and work now. Softness is not a personality trait, it is a business strategy. It is a strategic advantage that protects your creativity, decision making, and long term capacity. And you must shift from survival entrepreneurship to intentional legacy building. You must move from I just need money right now to I am building an ecosystem that protects me, my family, and my community. Here's the question I want you to sit with right now. If you treated your earliest trauma not as a shameful secret, but as a blueprint for how you deserve to live and work now, what would you change in your business or career within the next 30 days? I want you to write down 3 ways your body and nervous system still respond to stress the way they did in that early trauma. For each one, define one boundary, one system, or one collaboration you can implement in your work or business to protect yourself better. Commit to implementing at least one of those changes in the next month and share it with a trusted person for accountability. This is not about fixing yourself. This is about building with yourself. This is about taking the hardest thing you have ever survived and turning it into the softest place you have ever created. This is about refusing to replicate harm in your business, in your body, in your life. This is about choosing legacy over emergency. This is about choosing rest over hustle. This is about choosing you. And if no one has told you this yet, let me be the one to say it. You are not too broken to build something beautiful. You are not too tired to start something sustainable. You are not too small to create something significant. You are exactly where you need to be. And your soft girl era is not a retreat, it is a revolution. It is the most radical thing you will ever do. And it starts right now.